by Zara Larsson is going to be played in standard tuning. Here I'll show you two things. I'll show you the chord progressions, and I'll also show you the riff that you can hear happening in the song. First, let me just show you the chords. The chords are two sets of progressions. You've got a verse chord progression that is just a B and then an E. And there are various ways to make these Bs. It's just a B major and an E major, but the way that I make the B is I put my first finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, I put my ring finger on the 4th string 4th fret, I put my pinky finger on the 3rd string 4th fret, and then I strum from the 5th string to the 1st string, leaving strings 1 and 2 open. And that's a way to make a B chord. So the verse is going to drone for like 4 beats on a B. To an E chord. And the way that I move to the E chord is out of this exact same shape. All I do is I take my first finger and I drop it down. I say drop it down. I don't move frets. I just kind of drop the knuckle of my first finger to bar the 4th string on the 2nd fret, and then I pick up my ring finger. So I've got an open 6th string, my first finger still grabbing the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Now it's grabbing the 2nd fret of also the 4th string. My pinky finger is staying on the 3rd string 4th fret. 1st and 2nd strings remaining open. So that's how I move to that E. If you want to just play a standard E major chord, feel free to play that as well. But the verse is moving in B to an E. And then it goes back to the B. Goes back to the E, and it does that throughout the entire verse. The riff that you hear taking place during the verse is coming out of 2 chords. The way that you make those chords, the first one, you put your first finger on the 4th string 9th fret, put your ring finger on the 3rd string 11th fret, and your pinky finger on the 2nd string 11th fret. And the way that you're going to make those picking patterns, I'm just going to tell you the strings now that you've got your fingers in this position. You're going 4, 2, 4, 2, or you're going 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 3. And then you move to this chord. This chord, you put your first finger on the 5th string 7th fret, you put your ring finger on the 4th string 9th fret, and you put your 2nd finger on the 3rd string 8th fret. The way that you make this picking pattern, it's the same as the other chord. It's just on now a different set of strings. You're going 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3, 4. And that's the riff that you hear going back and forth. Lastly, the chorus chords. It will be a B major, an E major, an A flat minor, and then back to an E major. There are various ways to make these chords, but the way that I'm making it, I'm playing the B major the same way that I showed you earlier. You could make the B major down here on the 7th fret as a standard kind of bar major shape. I've got my first finger on the 6th string 7th fret. I've got my ring finger on the 5th string 9th fret. I've got my pinky finger on the 4th string 9th fret. I've got my 2nd finger on the 3rd string 8th fret. Then I've got an open 1st and 2nd string. And then it will come back to, so B major, beginning of the chorus there, then it would go to an E major chord. The 3rd chord, the A flat minor. The way that I tend to make it is I tend to put my ring finger on the 5th string 6th fret, my pinky finger on the 4th string 6th fret, my first finger on the 3rd string 4th fret, and then I use my thumb to grab the 6th string 4th fret, and then I'll let strings 1 and 2 remain open. If you want to play this as a standard just minor bar chord, you can. So in a minor bar chord situation, you would leave your ring and pinky planted where I told you to have them already on the 5th and 4th strings 6th fret. Then you'd use your first finger to just bar across the 4th fret of the remaining strings. and then back to an E chord. Either E major this way, a standard E major, or you could play the E major the way that I showed you earlier in the verse progression. Or sometimes I would play an E major up here with my first finger on the 5th string 7th fret, second finger on the 4th string 9th fret, pinky finger on the 3rd string 9th fret, and then 1st and 2nd strings open. And that will be the chorus chords. Again, B major to an E major to an A flat minor, back to the E major chord. And it repeats those chorus chords and then goes back into the verse riff chords that we talked about earlier. And also, as a final note, obviously if you're wanting to play this song out, that riff is the correct riff, but I suspect that it's going to be hard to play that riff and sing over it and have the real meat of the song take place. So unless you're playing with multiple instrumentalists so that somebody else can be filling in the chord structure behind you, I imagine that you might would just want to hit that riff a few times and then go into the verse chords, letting the chords provide the meat of the tone, and just going B chord to the E chord for the verse, back to the B chord, back down to the E chord, until you get to the chorus where you just run through then the chorus chords. And hopefully that gives you an idea of how to approach this song.